Motorsports. It's a world of roaring engines, adrenaline-pumping speeds, and razor-sharp focus. But for a long time, it's also been a world where women were told they didn't belong. Today, we're diving into the story of how women are not just participating in motorsports, but they're shaking up the game and challenging some of the oldest traditions in racing. So, buckle up. This is the rise of women in motorsports. Motorsports has long been a man's game. Since its inception in the early 20th century, it's been dominated by male drivers, mechanics, and team owners. Just picture the classic image of a race car driver, a man in a helmet focused on the finish line. But why is that? It's not that women aren't interested in racing. Historically, the sport's structures didn't leave much room for women to break through. Gender roles, societal expectations, and even sponsorship biases stacked the deck against them. Just imagine a young girl dreaming of being a race car driver but constantly told it's not for her. But there have always been women who dared to defy the odds. Meet the trailblazers, women like Michelle Mouton, who, in the 1980s, became the first woman to win a World Rally Championship event. And then there's Danica Patrick, the name synonymous with breaking barriers in motorsports. Danica Patrick didn't just compete in a male-dominated field, she thrived. When she became the first woman to win an IndyCar race in 2008, it wasn't just a victory for her, it was a victory for every girl watching from the sidelines, dreaming of their own moment in the winner's circle. Even with these incredible stories, the road to success in motorsports remains filled with obstacles for women. Let's talk about those roadblocks. First, there's the stereotype. Even today, many people still question whether women have the physical and mental toughness for racing. Crazy, right? But this isn't just a casual bias, it's something that affects sponsorships, opportunities, and the very infrastructure of racing. Then there's the financial side. Racing is expensive, it takes sponsorship money to compete at the highest levels, and many female drivers struggle to secure the same level of backing as their male counterparts. Brands often hedge their bets on the established, male-dominated teams and drivers. It's a vicious cycle. Without exposure, women struggle to gain sponsors, and without sponsors, they struggle to gain exposure. But here's the thing, these barriers aren't stopping the women of today. Today, there's a new generation of women in motorsports who are setting the track on fire. Let's start with Jamie Chadwick. Chadwick is the reigning champion of the W Series, a racing championship designed exclusively for women to provide a platform for female talent. Her skill behind the wheel is undeniable. But more than that, her victories in this series send a powerful message. Women don't need a separate league to prove they're just as talented as men. Then there's Tatiana Calderon, making her mark in Formula 2 and becoming the first Latin American woman to compete at that level. These women are showing the world that talent doesn't come with a gender label. Now let's talk about the W Series. This all-women's championship has been both praised and criticized. Some say it gives women the exposure and support they need to make it in the sport. Others argue that separating women from the main racing circuit only reinforces the idea that they can't compete with men. But there's no denying that the W Series is a game changer. It's given drivers like Jamie Chadwick a spotlight they wouldn't have had otherwise. In fact, many fans are hopeful that more mixed-gender opportunities will arise as the W Series continues to grow. We're witnessing a turning point in motorsports. Just look at the headlines from the past few years. Jamie Chadwick dominating the W Series, Tatiana Calderon racing in Formula 2, and more young girls entering go-karting and junior racing programs. These aren't isolated moments, they're part of a larger movement. More and more we're seeing women not only participate but excel, and with increased visibility, the barriers are starting to crumble. So, what's next for women in motorsports? The future is bright. As young girls see more role models like Danica Patrick and Jamie Chadwick, they're starting to believe that they too can make it in racing. The barriers of the past are starting to fall, and we're seeing a future where gender isn't what defines a driver's success, it's their skill. More initiatives are emerging to bring women into the motorsports world, from karting schools for young girls to mentoring programs led by female pros. The racing world is slowly but surely becoming more inclusive, and we can't wait to see what the next generation of women drivers will achieve. But this movement needs more than just drivers, it needs all of us. Whether you're a fan, a sponsor, or a fellow driver, supporting women in motorsports is crucial. Spread the word, watch their races, and back the women breaking barriers on and off the track. What do you think the future of women in motorsports looks like? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of trailblazers pushing the limits in the world of sports.